over the past couple of years, Nexus Mods has been really bad about their activism. They constantly ban mods that they have deemed offensive, yet they leave up other mods even though they claim that, oh, anything having to do with politics isn't allowed on their site. But now, of course, we are finding out that they apparently were not doing so good because Nexus Mods has been sold. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, sites like this are either sold because number one, the person cannot upkeep them for the costs that they've become, or number two, an entity just swoops in and figures, you know what, we're going to try to take this now at a good price. And I am personally wondering if this was sold to a major company that just wanted to have what is, for right now, the number one mod platform, because when you're a normie and you're thinking of mods, you probably find Nexus Mods on Google. There are a lot of really fantastic alternatives like Ayaka mods, DEG mods, base mods, but they are much smaller compared to Nexus, and it's going to take time for them to grow. So I wonder if that could be the case, though we don't have any confirmation, but we do have confirmation that this site has, yes, officially been sold. But judging by this update, where they're discussing what changes now, I don't think anything is going to change. So it starts off by saying, after almost 24 years of running Nexus Mods, the time has come for me to step back from the day-to-day management of the site. This isn't a decision I've made lightly, far from it, but one I think is in both my and the community's best interests. I started this project back in 2001 in my bedroom with a 56K modem in excitement for the upcoming release of Morrowind, and with no grand ambitions or intentions. I didn't set out to build a business. I just wanted to make a place where modders could share their work without worrying it would vanish into the internet either the next time a fan site went offline or a publisher decided they were done with it. That idea grew legs, spouted arms, and turned into Nexus Mods. Now, Nexus Mods has been established for, yes, a very long time. I've personally used it. You've probably used it. A lot of people have. It is the largest modding platform on the internet at this point in time, but the problem with that is that they haven't been running it correctly over the past couple of years. They have let activism and personal politics get in the way of creator freedom, and that is why I personally do not support them anymore. I have had to make so many videos on this channel about them banning mods and banning modders and silencing discussions, all because they personally do not agree with the content that goes up. And sure, not all of that was Dark One, the owner. Some of that has to just do with the moderators the site has, but it really all stems from this individual who wasn't putting his foot down saying we have to allow all content unless it is like illegal content. But that hasn't been the case for, a very long time. It says, though, since then, the site has been my entire adult life. Every single day for over 2 decades, I've been on call, whether it was fixing issues, reading feedback, pushing updates, or getting pulled into the latest bit of community drama. It's been rewarding, sometimes chaotic, often exhausting, and always personal. Somewhere along the way, I forgot to step back and breathe or sleep properly. The dilemma of running a major social network that does not rest. The strain of being responsible for the behemoth I created has taken its toll. He goes on about how he's been stressed, how he's put a lot of his life aside, and how someone else needs to basically step forward with renewed energy to make Nexus Mods the modding community we all truly deserve. He says, one of the biggest reasons I've been doing this for so long is that I've never felt that I truly found someone who really gets the modding community the way I do. No, you just didn't find anyone who was willing to line your pockets in the way that you wanted. You don't just sell a site like this for pennies. You sell it for a massive amount of money, and he's not disclosing who ultimately purchased it, but I personally wonder if a company swooped in like a Microsoft, for example, because let's be fair, there's a lot of very large companies right now who are trying to buy up as many smaller studios as possible within the industry. And because Nexus is kind of a pillar when it comes to modding for video games, it wouldn't really shock me that they were just like, here's a couple $1,000,000, have fun, and he sold it to them. Is that ever going to change? Are they ever going to announce who did? Who knows? But at least right now we have no idea. It says finding a new owner who would be able to understand and respect the myriad intricacies of both Nexus Mods as a business and the wider modding community was essential. After months of meetings, face-to-face talks, and a whole lot of soul searching, I am thrilled to say that I truly believe I have found the exact right people for the task. So yes, the ownership of Nexus Mods has changed hands, but I want to be clear, this isn't some corporate exit or a backroom deal. You can say that, but ultimately it was a business deal, and you shouldn't be ashamed of that, right? You made money off of this purchase. You are, like cleaning your hands of this site. That's what you want to do. That's totally your call, but that's what it is it's a business deal. It says that this is me doing something I probably should have done years ago, taking care of myself. Okay, congratulations. But they get into what changes now and they say, really not a lot. Behind the scenes, I've already been stepping back bit by bit. Over the past few years, the team has taken on more of the weight and the site's been doing better than ever. What's changing now is simply the formality of it, making sure the right people are in place to guide Nexus Mods into the next era. That includes some structural updates to the company ownership that we aren't shouting about, but I want to be transparent. They're about long-term stability, not changing the values or direction of the platform. So basically, the censoring that is going on this platform now is not going to change because they have very often touted the values of the platform is why so many mods have been removed and so many are allowed to stay, like the Spider-Man, trans flag mods. Oh, that's not political, they say, and that can stay because it supports certain people, because it promotes certain people. But on the flip side, you can't have like Trump in Marvel Rivals mods because that's too political, guys. It says, though, while I am stepping back, it's important to understand that Nexus Mods isn't just about me and hasn't been for a long time. The Nexus Mods you see today has been created by a team of 40 incredibly dedicated people, some of whom have been here for over 9 years. They live and breathe modding, they care deeply, they're experienced, committed, and they're very much still here. So I have a lot of questions, and the comment section is not a very positive one right now. So the leftist running this is finally going good. Maybe I'll come back now. MF are removing mods for no reason because he doesn't agree with it and they ain't even bad. This is the problem, is that the people who are actually making the decisions and who were removing mods are still staying. And if you don't know that much about Nexus, the last major controversy they were a part of, they actually backtracked on. I think it could have been because this is when the deal was being finalized. This was about a month ago or a month and a half ago. And they realized this was not a good look to kind of sell the company on. But it says Nexus Mods quietly reverses course on the male-female mod for Oblivion Remaster. Is Nexus actually leaving the culture war behind? Absolutely not. I've had to talk about them so many times that it would take years and years for them to ultimately backtrack completely. As you can see, I talked about them banning the Oblivion Remastered male-female mods and then going back on that. They were roasted for removing a Marvel Rivals mod with Donald Trump as Captain America. Nexus Mods bans the Tomb Raider content warning removal mod. Their activism continues to ruin modding. They banned the Expedition 33 mod that added Near Sexy 2B just 2 weeks ago. They banned the White Race Swap mod but allowed the Black Henry Race Swap mod for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The Starfield No Pronouns mod was confirmed banned, and then they ended up shutting down some of the threads and trying to silence people. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and I did post about this update over on X, and yeah, a lot of people are extremely fucking skeptical. Ayaka Mods laughing, saying Nexus Mods' soul has been sold. And it is true. I highly recommend that you check out some of the alternatives because they are much more trustworthy. And I will not trust Nexus Mods still. It's not the platform I am going to go to first and foremost. And sure, maybe this could mark some kind of change for them, but I would not, bet the farm on it yet. Being sold to a profit-seeking corporation means they will want mods that people will want to use at the site again. Maybe Nexus will be based again. This explains the censorship trying to look goody two-shoes for potential buyers. Hopefully it fails, and whoever is in charge of the moderation on that site is jobless, homeless, and addicted. So all the time they were doing this for a sellout. They don't even have values. Did China buy it or some corpo, we don't know, and we probably never will know unless those people end up selling it or it's a big company and they start marketing it and changing it up. So yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on this. I am definitely not going to hold my breath for them getting better. There is potential there, but as of right now, we are finding out that Nexus Mods has been sold. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.